Let's set the scene. You're lying in bed, the lights are off, and suddenly, every creak and shadow becomes a potential threat. Your heart races, and you find yourself reaching for the nearest light source. But why does darkness evoke such a visceral reaction? This fear isn't just a childhood phase. It's deeply embedded in our evolutionary history. Our ancestors, lacking modern lighting, were vulnerable to nocturnal predators. Being alert in the dark was a survival mechanism. Even today, our brains associate darkness with the unknown, triggering anxiety and heightened senses. This response is so ingrained that even in safe environments, the absence of light can make us uneasy. So, let's delve into the fascinating ways our brains react to darkness. Let's get right into it. Number 1, the ancestral alarm system. Imagine you're in prehistoric times, without the comfort of modern lighting. Night falls, and with it comes the threat of predators. Our ancestors developed a heightened sense of alertness in the dark to survive. This evolutionary trait persists today. Even in our safe, modern homes, the darkness can trigger a sense of vulnerability. Our brains, wired for survival, remain on high alert when visibility is low. Number 2, the fear of the unknown. Darkness obscures our surroundings, making it difficult to assess potential threats. This uncertainty can lead to anxiety, as our brains fill in the blanks with imagined dangers. This phenomenon, known as pareidolia, causes us to perceive familiar patterns, like faces or figures, in shadows. It's our brain's way of making sense of limited visual information, often leading to heightened fear responses. Number 3, cultural conditioning. From horror movies to ghost stories, darkness is often portrayed as a backdrop for danger and the supernatural. These cultural narratives reinforce our fear of the dark, shaping our perceptions from a young age. Repeated exposure to such themes can condition our brains to associate darkness with fear, even in the absence of real threats. Number 4, biological responses. Our bodies respond to darkness by increasing melatonin production, preparing us for sleep. However, this hormonal change can also make us more susceptible to fear and anxiety. Additionally, the amygdala, the brain's fear center, becomes more active in low-light conditions, heightening our emotional responses to perceived threats. Number 5, hyperactive agency detection. Ever feel like something's watching you in the dark? That's your brain's hyperactive agency detection at work. This mechanism evolved to help our ancestors detect threats in low-visibility conditions. In the absence of clear sensory information, our minds fill in the blanks, often imagining potential dangers lurking nearby. This tendency to perceive intent or agency in ambiguous stimuli is a survival trait. It's better to mistakenly think there's a predator than to miss a real threat. So, when you're in the dark and feel uneasy, it's your brain erring on the side of caution. Number 6, childhood imagination overdrive. Children often fear the dark due to their vivid imaginations and limited understanding of reality. Between ages 4 and 6, kids are especially prone to imagining monsters or dangers in the dark. This fear is a normal part of development and usually fades as they grow older and learn to distinguish fantasy from reality. However, if reinforced by scary stories or experiences, this fear can persist into adulthood, manifesting as anxiety or discomfort in dark environments. Number 7, modern media amplification. Horror movies and scary stories often use darkness to build suspense and fear. This association reinforces our innate fear of the dark, making us more anxious in low-light situations. Repeated exposure to such media can condition our brains to expect danger when the lights go out. So, if you've ever felt uneasy after watching a horror film, it's not just your imagination. It's your brain responding to learned cues. Number 8, circadian rhythm disruption. Our bodies have a natural circadian rhythm that regulates sleep and wakefulness. Exposure to artificial light at night can disrupt this rhythm, leading to sleep disturbances and increased anxiety. This disruption can make us more sensitive to darkness, as our bodies struggle to adjust to inconsistent lighting cues. Maintaining a consistent sleep schedule and minimizing light exposure before bedtime can help mitigate these effects. Number 9, the startle reflex. Ever been startled by a sudden noise in the dark? That's your body's startle reflex in action. In darkness, our senses are heightened, making us more susceptible to sudden stimuli. This reflex is a survival mechanism, preparing us to react quickly to potential threats. While useful in danger situations, it can also lead to unnecessary anxiety when triggered by harmless noises. Number 10. Loss of visual cues. Darkness deprives us of visual information, making it difficult to navigate our environment. This lack of visual cues can lead to disorientation and a sense of vulnerability. Our brains rely heavily on sight to interpret the world, and when that input is removed, it can cause discomfort and fear. This is why unfamiliar dark spaces often feel more intimidating than well-lit ones. Number 11. Association with negative experiences. For some, fear of the dark stems from past negative experiences. Traumatic events that occurred in darkness can create lasting associations between the absence of light and danger. These associations can persist into adulthood, causing anxiety in dark environments even when no real threat is present. Number 12. Social and cultural influences. Societal narratives often depict darkness as a setting for danger or evil. From horror films to folklore, darkness is frequently associated with the unknown and the malevolent. These cultural influences can shape our perceptions and fears, reinforcing the idea that darkness is something to be feared. Number 13. The amygdala's night shift. Your amygdala, the brain's fear center, becomes more active in darkness. This heightened activity can lead to increased anxiety and fear responses, even in safe environments. Studies have shown that light exposure suppresses amygdala activity, suggesting that darkness removes this calming effect, allowing fear responses to intensify. Number 14. Nicaphobia. When fear becomes phobia. For some, fear of the dark escalates into nicaphobia, a condition characterized by intense anxiety in dark environments. This phobia can disrupt daily life, leading to avoidant behaviors like sleeping with lights on or avoiding nighttime activities. Treatment options include cognitive behavioral therapy and exposure therapy, which have been effective in managing and reducing symptoms. Number 15. Darkness and the imagination. In the absence of visual information, our imagination fills in the gaps, often with exaggerated threats. This tendency can lead to heightened fear responses in the dark, as our minds conjure up potential dangers lurking just out of sight. Understanding this can help us manage our reactions and reduce unnecessary anxiety. So we just explored a bunch of moments when your brain basically ghosts you. From your own name to that bathroom mirror, nowhere is safe. If you've ever experienced this weirdness, share your story below. I'd love to hear about your brain's betrayal moments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos about the unexpected plot twists of our minds. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.